This is how to sell anything to anybody. It's very simple. All you need to do is convince your customer that the benefits they gain are worth more than the amount of money they spend. This works for email marketers, affiliate marketing, product vendors, e-com, retailers, freelancers, and service providers. But there's a massive problem that almost every marketer, content creator, or copywriter faces, and most of them don't even know that it exists, because as sellers, we naturally believe that the cost of the product is justified. We believe that we're offering a really good deal, so we tend to assume that the buyer will naturally agree with us and see the same amount of value that we do. Now, the copywriters who understand this usually try to overcome it by just listing a bunch of features and benefits. Now, as important as they are, features and benefits will only really get you so far, especially on the internet, because most of the time people only communicate through the written word. So that means you have to make sure that all the words you use have the right impact, that they deliver the right message in the right way. And features and benefits usually only ever address the financial aspect, the cost. The fact is, it's a mistake to just assume that the only cost is the dollar value, because really there's a lot more involved. Your buyers have more costs than just the dollar value. And the biggest one is trust. Trust is worth more than the dollar value. I'll give you an example. So a couple of weeks ago, I was looking for a new microphone, but it was a little bit more than I wanted to pay. So I shopped around and eventually I found the same microphone, only a lot cheaper, on eBay. But something didn't sit right with me, because the sales page only had stock images and it looked like it was a brand new seller. There was no history there. There was no social proof. And I wasn't convinced that, considering the low price of the product, which was more than 50% cheaper, I wasn't sure that it was a legit product. It kind of felt like I'd be taking a gamble. So trust is worth more than the dollar value. So let me give you some trust builders, and these will increase your sales. So use these in your emails, on landing pages, bridge pages, reviews, sales pages. It works. Okay, so your customer always wants to move away from pain and towards pleasure. When you know what those two things are, your words will have a much greater impact. You'll connect on a much deeper level and you'll increase their trust. So make a list of all their pain points. The most common ones to get you started are trying to save time, trying to save money, and people usually also want to avoid confusion and feeling embarrassed. Now, what if you don't know what your customer's specific pain points are? Well, let me give you a little hack. So the hard work has already been done for you, because if we go to the ClickBank marketplace and study other people's pages, we're going to uncover a whole heap of useful data. So we only choose pages that have a gravity of at least 0.1. Otherwise, you're just looking at pages that might not be converting. So choose at least 5 pages to study. And then we just look for patterns across all of them. And then you make a list of the reoccurring pain points. Now, this is really important to note, because it's important to note that you only use this for inspiration. Don't steal or plagiarize. I know you won't. We're just building a swipe file that we can dip into and edit later on. So get as many pain points as you can, because when it comes to writing your sales copy, you need to agitate those pain points. Okay, now that you know what your customers' pain points are, repeat the process for their desires. Make a list of the things that they want. Again, the most common desires for most people are more time and more money. They also generally want status and recognition. Now, you can go back to ClickBank and you can look for specific desires. I recommend that you do that, but we can also go to Amazon So let's search for the Dummies Guide books. Now find one that's appropriate for your niche and then scroll down on that sales page and find From Inside the Flap. Now you have a list of specific customer desires. Now you know what your customers' pain points are and you know their desires, but we're still not done yet, because to build trust, you have to be authentic. And this cannot be faked. People will sniff it out. So as simple as it sounds, the best way of appearing honest and trustworthy is to just be honest and trustworthy. And this is great for you because it means you already can get the sales that you need by just being yourself. Your customers are intelligent, so they will connect with you when you're being authentic. So a good tip is to write like you talk and then read it back to yourself out loud. And if it sounds like writing, then rewrite it until it sounds natural. I like to imagine that I'm talking to a close friend. Another important aspect of being authentic is to describe the product accurately. Now, this means saying who the product is for, and it also means saying who it isn't for. Now, of course, the product isn't going to benefit everyone, so be upfront and honest about that. Most sales messages reek of desperation, and that just costs you sales. So when you do the opposite of that and be honest, it increases sales. Okay, so a good way to do this is to say what the product doesn't do. And it's even okay to say it's not perfect. You can even go one step further and point out one or two flaws. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but this level of honesty really connects with people. And if you can spin that flaw into a strength, then you'll overcome the objection. Let me give you an example, because when it comes to selling things offline in the real world, I'm terrible. I get anxious, my mouth goes dry, I can't even pick up the phone without breaking out into a cold sweat. I have that much anxiety. But when it comes to selling online on the internet, I'm pretty good, and I have a proven track record as well. Now, some of my students have even made millions of dollars from my teachings, and if you want to know the secret and how they did it, and you really do want to get serious about making money from your website, well, the thing is, you're going to need more customers, right? So that means you have to get more traffic. So I will give you the traffic methods that I never share on YouTube or anywhere else. I'll give them to you for free when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic. And if you found this useful, give it a thumbs up below, subscribe to the channel too, hit that little notification bell so you never miss an update from me. Now we'll hopefully see you again in a couple of days' time. Take care.